Can you confirm there is a letter came from the President of the Parliament to the Secretary General asking him to relieve Stephanie Williams from her duties?
Well, remember, Stephanie Williams reports directly to the Secretary General. She is his special advisor. While she is doing this work, the Secretary General is also trying to get a special representative for Libya, and those discussions are continuing. So that is what's happening. I can't confirm any communications with the parties on this.
From your statement, the blame was placed squarely on the Libyan people. Don't you see that the Security Council also to blame, and the interference from different countries in the region also to be blamed for this division?
I wouldn't say that we're placing the blame simply on the Libyan parties, but it is the Libyan parties who are responsible for their failure to come together. We, as you know, have been working for years trying to bring the country under a unified set of structures, a unified government, and it is up to the parties themselves to continue to cooperate on that process. You're absolutely right that other governments, other parties inside and outside the region have been contributing to an atmosphere in which there's further divisiveness rather than further unity. And we want that to end. We want the parties to come together. The Libyan people have basically been suffering for a decade, and this has to stop.
Yesterday, Libyan Prime Minister-elect Fathi Bashagha sent a letter to Secretary General asking him to recognize his government as the only one representing the Libyan people. Can you confirm that you get this letter, and do you have any comment regarding the content of this letter? Thank you.
No, it's not for me to judge about the contents of this letter. Regarding where we stand concerning communications by the parties in Libya, I'll just leave it at what I said at the top of this briefing. You heard what I had to say, and that is where we stand on this.
The position that you just reflect in the statement on Libya, does it mean that the LPTA roadmap is more about tasks which mean about conducting the elections rather than deadlines or dates?
I think the point that I was getting at was that the transitional phase was based on certain steps for progress. Those have not been met, and what we are encouraging is for efforts to be redoubled so that the sort of roadmap that was spelled out can be achieved. And in the meantime, what we want is for all sides to maintain calm and stability. Acting as if this particular date has any significance for one side or another is not helpful compared to actually working together and working with our special advisor to move forward for Libya.
Libya, again, obviously the situation is very problematic in the country. In the same moment, there wasn't an international conference or a summit in the frameworks of the Berlin process for a while. Would you support and would you call for such a new summit in the next time? Would that be helpful?
At this stage, right now, what Stephanie Williams is focusing on, as she made clear over the weekend, is trying to conclude the sort of process that she had been holding in Cairo with the talks on the constitutional framework for elections. So, like I said, we've received some positive responses from each side regarding follow-up, and we're going to try to see what can be done with that. Beyond that, we'll see what further approaches can help with this issue.
Okay, a couple of follow-ups to things that you said. On Libya, the LPDF, you said that the date, today's date, was being used as a tool for political manipulation. Can you expand on that?
I would rather leave it just at that. The entire point is this. When this agreement was made, And remember, it was made in November 2020, a year and a half ago. It was made on the premise that there would be elections. Those elections have not happened. We are continuing to work with the parties to make them happen. Stephanie Williams, as you know, tried to get the parties to agree on a constitutional framework for the elections to be held. There's some issues to be resolved, but she has spoken with the two different sides, and they've both indicated their agreement to come to further consultations. So we're looking forward to setting up those consultations as soon as we can.